Good evening, everybody. I have some people standing and I want to do a stand-up game. Who has used an AI tool already? Stand up. Oh my God, so many people. Okay, who used it for coding? You can go sit down.
Yes.
Well, just to check who's left over. So for coding, oh yeah, okay. Okay, so most people have used it for coding. Awesome, awesome. Everybody can sit down. Good, good. Who am I? I'm Geert. I'm doing this for 30 years already, so I'm seeing many trends come and go. Used to be a backend developer and an ops engineer. I love Linux. I'm on a Windows laptop. The irony is not lost on me. I did digital transformations. I led some engineering teams, and I love motorcycles and building Mad Max kind of motorcycles. Same like building software. I love doing that. I got some of my socials, websites, etc. there when I share the slides. So, same like everybody here, most of the people are already using AI tools when they're at work. Almost all companies are or using it, integrating it, or doing pilot projects. And the focus will be always on augmentation, not replacement. Even if we all saw a lot of people getting fired because AI is going to take over, I'm quite sure it's not. And if you have used AI before for coding, you should know that it doesn't work that well either when using it. It works, but it needs some tweaking. So what does it do? You can get some more work done faster. It helps you to scaffold some codes there, which frameworks did in the past also. You got the Ruby on Rails. You got a Laravel framework that helped you to scaffold quickly also. AI can do that in much more different coding and different tech stacks. You can automate some repetitive tasks by letting the AI write a script for you to do it. And also it can help you debug. But with a caveat here, if you have used it before, if you know where the bug should be, you can ask it to analyze it, but if you go over the whole code base, where you have to go step by step through it, it doesn't work that wonderful. So, most people use Copilot probably in his editor to get the code completion. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I switched it off because mostly it was quite crappy what it provided to me. It does bug detection, and this one is a good one. Most of the people are developers here, I assume. We are not fond of writing documentation. So AI can help. I use it at least to go over my code base and to give me a documentation. I let it even diagram sometimes my infrastructure, so it's quite easy. And that's why I've put this writing and tests in bold. As developers, there's a big debate if you do test-driven design or you write the tests after. I write tests after. I don't use it to design my code personally, but there's difference in opinions there. So I use the AI also to help me to generate those tests, as I don't use it to design. And then basic UI. I was just talking to the gentleman here who was a designer that my career started building websites before CSS was a thing. And I'm not good at it. So I use it for some basic UI design, but I'm quite sure for the more complicated, better designs, you still will need people to do it. So there are studies on the topic here. A case study that says it will make you so much more productive on it. I've linked the study. just read the study, and then you learn that studies are many times just fluff pieces where they did a very limited data set on it to prove a point. Especially in AI, most of the researchers doing these things are paid by the bigger AI companies in this one, so it's mostly to prove a point. But still, this test was done on a task that should take 3 hours for the developer, which is also questionable how they did it, because one developer does it in 2 hours, the other does it in 5 hours. How do they know it's 3 hours? So they did this test set, and it came out that they were more productive when they would use the copilot, the code completion part on it. Now, I think we all have used it. It helps. It gives you sometimes suggestions. It gives you help when you're stuck. So it can be a good point to use it. Maybe in my personal opinion here is I'm doing this for many years, and I've been many times on a goose hunt or a rabbit. Well, how do you say that in English? Rabbit hunting, because the AI is sending me in the wrong direction. Instead, if I would have taken 20 minutes time to walk through it myself, I would have solved the problem, while the AI is directing me in different directions that are actually don't make sense after. And then it's like, oh shit, I should stop doing this and look in it and think for myself on this point. So even with AI, they will get better in the completion, giving you the functions, scaffold the codes, etc. So what it cannot replace is very, very simple. Problem solving is one of the things AI is not that good in, especially not the creative problem solving. If you take your bigger code base and you have to fix a problem holistically in the code base, a scaling issue, for example, that can be infrastructure, that can be code. You have to have a holistic view of this one to know where to go looking and debugging this problem. Also, architectural design decisions. Junior developers don't do it that much. More senior people work most of the times on these parts. So everybody has to skill up and get to this level. And another one that I think is important, especially if you want to level up as a developer yourself, is understanding the business context that you're working in. This is what helped me move forward in my career also, and this is also something AI will not replace. Is talk to the products.
That's the one behind. Yes, and maybe try to switch. It's gives them.
Okay, so the business context, understanding. When I was younger, I loved to code. I loved to have good code, and actually I didn't care what the code did. As long as it was elegant code, abstract, could reuse it, I didn't care about anything else. But if you want to be productive, you want to move forward in your career, understand the business context that you're working in, the products that you're working on. This will, with AI, be even more important because AI is doing the simple stuff. Strategic planning and also team collaboration. With AI, you're just talking to the AI. You're not collaborating with people around it. AI will not be able to have a conversation in your team, to have a brainstorming with the team, to solve a problem, have the talk with the business, etc. To collaborate. Yes. Now, I use some tools, as I just mentioned. I don't know if you guys use dedicated tools for development. The best one is not the one I have in my list. It's an editor called Cursor. Cursor helps you with the code. It helps you add the context of the files. And also it checks if you run in your terminal the output of the logs or the output of the errors that come out of it. It's easy, you just install it. you put your API key in it. I don't use it. So what is this? This is Aider. Aider is like a coding buddy that can help you. It has an architect functionality in it that you can ask to architect and design a system. And also it helps you to write functions. You can ask it to generate code. It can even do the diffs and do the code commits. Why do I like this tool? It is because of the context. So you can ask always, write this function that do this. Because the AI doesn't have the context of your other codes that has to interact with it. So you have to think and do it. This tool does it a little bit for you. So if you can see here, it takes the Git repo. It says that there are 70 files, and in the context, it will send the Git tree to the AI in the background as a context. So when you ask it a question, like here, this is an infrastructure project I was working on for the load balancer, it will interactively say, hey, in the Git tree, I think these and these and these files will help me to understand it better. Do you want me to add them to the context? You can say yes, add it to the context. Add it to the context. And then you get better proposals from the AI tool yourself. It even gives you the token cents, how much money you spent on the AI tool. In this case, it's Anthropic Cloud, because it has a very large context window to do it. So that's one tool. Another one that I use is Avante. I'm a NeoVim user because I use Vim already over 20 years. It's a chat client inside of your editor. And it uses the file that you're working on as a context. You can ask it a question, it generates a function. You can help it to read a function and to fix problems into it interactively while you're coding. Both of those tools have a different use case in my case, because the other one is holistically helping you to, on the design, and this one is when you're like deep diving, very specific on the code. Now you don't have to set it up in this way. You can just install Cursor, which is a VS Code kind of a AI tool. I think you have to pay money for it also. But why do I like these tools? It is, I come on that later. Good. So benefits for it. That's what all the companies are looking for, is reduced time on routine tasks. The prototyping goes much faster. That's why I use it. What I just said, like frameworks like Rails and Laravel, they have a scaffolding system that you normally could run at the prompt that gives you the CRUD code already. These are the things AI can help in. Improve the code quality, because it can do a code review, help you a little bit on your way. Again, this depends on your level as a developer. If you're more senior level, it will be a little bit less, because then you're opinionated how things are done. But when you're junior, it can help you to get better codes. It can help you to debug, which I use. The Aider tool, for example, the infrastructure I was deploying with Aider. When I run it and it gives me an error, the terminal output will be fed in the context window, and it will help me to explain what is the problem or where do I have to look into it to fix it. And sometimes it's very wrong. So as a developer, what should we be focusing on? In the beginning, it was just writing the code, writing good code. First you start a job probably writing simple CRUD code and then level yourself up. But now you have to start at a little bit of a higher level because AI is already helping with the simple things. Think about the platform that you're delivering. You're not just writing the simple CRUD code, but you have to think about the whole design, architecture, business, decision making, and last, because I'm repeating what I just said, is how to work with the AI. If you are just chatting with an AI, it will not give you the best results. The goal is to give it a good context. This is where the tool like Aider comes into view. Aider helps you to structure the content, to give you the files, to give the terminal output all as a context to the AI. But also, if you prompt the AI, it can change drastically the outputs and improve the outputs of what it gives people. So learning how to prompt the AI properly with the right context is something you have to practice and try and play with. So just to repeat that, be proficient, system architecture, problem solving, business understanding, and cross-functional collaboration. Those skills you really need to focus on if you want to be a good developer. In the future, is especially for all the university people here that are in attendance. These are the things you're going to have to focus on. So already play with the AI, use it, and also learn what are the faults that the AI does, what is the AI good at, what is it not good at, how I can tweak it to improve it a bit, to play around with that one, because it will be important in the future. Now, from my role, I've been a CTO, head of engineering. I work in fintech domain, finance, and insurance. Compliance, IP is a big issue. The Aider tool, for example, I set it up with Claude. It's sending my code over to Anthropic. Yes, so most of the companies will not allow this. If you work at a startup, it's probably less. If you work at a bank, most of these tools are blocked anyway. There are internal projects where you can use it, but for example, how do I use it? I use Olama and I run it locally. Here you can see, you can easily, well, my laptop is quite performant, but on a normal MacBook with enough RAM, you should be able to run a decent model on it. Here I just ran the 9 billion tokens one, asked it to make the presentation. You will see it's different than the presentation I gave. But you can run it locally. So it also has the OpenAI API design, so you can hook up most of the tools locally. So you just install Olama locally, and then you connect the tools to your local AI. But now, for the coding, for example, that I was explaining, even my laptop, I have an RTX 4090 in it. It only has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, I think. I get into trouble when it sends a big context window to it, and it has to process it and give me a reply. Even my laptop has difficulties handling that one. So mostly I use the smaller ones. You got a lot of for coding, for example. You got small ones. Gemma is a good one, which I actually use not for coding, but I use it for writing. In my note-taking tool, I have like a code completion thing just on text. So it just completes the sentences that you have, and then you can like accept it, which is sometimes nice if you have to write a text and you're stuck. You don't know what is next, it gives you a sentence. Sometimes it's not good, you delete it. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that would be a nice addition, and you can accept it. So there are different models that you can use for different use cases that are small and that have a good function there. But if you work in a corporate setting, be careful and check with your company what is the policy around using these tools. And if you work in a bank, it's probably blocked. So coming to the end, AI is a powerful tool. We have to learn how to use it, and it will come for everybody. Even for the big companies, they will set up their own models internally that you can work with if they have issues with the compliance. Uh, it it helps me to be more productive and efficient in coding. I don't code every day, all day anymore, so it helps. It helps there, and I'm quite sure it helps everybody there. Which, just as I said, I don't code that much, so I'm not as efficient in coding. I don't always know the language or the syntax of that language. You can focus now on the higher value tasks, because instead of looking up the syntax, it's helped me to write quickly, so I can just solve the problem at hand that I want to fix at that moment, instead of looking in a reference guide, what is the right syntax for the if loop in this language. It will help there, and we have to embrace it. Welcome to the overlord of AI. Good, that was it. Any questions? Yes. Oh, the AI specialist is going to ask me a question. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Good.
Hi, first thing first, so thinking for your presentation, some respect, and I think I'm sure these questions can be related to your presentation on second one about the side projects. And one of the things that I cannot excel for now is the basic understanding. So let's say given I believe it here, so there's many developers in this room. And let's say if somebody wants to work on kind of the side projects and understand its deep problem. So the things that AI cannot do well right now. So do you have any advice? So from your experience, can use finance and insurance before? And because I know, so in a few years in this industry, I come to conclusion just for myself, sometimes how to be is not the important question to answer that what to be is more important one to me to answer than how to be. Work it out what to be and work it out. So what kind of the business we can pick up for to solve the problems there in kind of. So I mean it's just more my version is not just from personal experience bloody to do something like side projects and kind of thing. Yeah, so from your experience, in HW, you had lots of opportunities from the insurance and the cleaning of the finance and tech transition. So, what's your take about this?
Well, my take is, in the beginning, I just coded and fixed codes without really understanding without really understanding the business context, which actually didn't help me advance my career either. Because if you say you're looking at a bug and you fix the bug, you've been busy all day debugging it, you slept over it, you fix it, you think it's awesome, it's working, and you say it to a business guy, the people running the company, he will say, oh yeah, that's fine. But if you said, okay, we lost X amount of users because of a bug in our onboarding flow each time, and now we fix this, so we have more users in our system, paid users, because else they were falling out. Then you know how much value you have created for the company, and this gives you a strong point. Instead of yes, your fellow developers, they will appreciate the hard work that you delivered and how hard it was to find a complex problem, but this is not what pays you. Yes. So once you make that realization, you try to, before you do something, you try to understand what you're doing instead of it. This is why I think it's a good thing that they cut down on business analysts. Business analysts that already force feed you everything and you just follow it and you write the code on it. That's not where you want to be. Yes, as a developer, you have to understand, okay, this is a feature or this is a bug, and you have to really understand the business that is behind it. And how do you do that? The same way you learn everything, by asking a lot of questions. Yes. Same, you ask, hey, what is this? Why is that? Why is that? Until you get that understanding, because this is a thing. In Asia, I notice this sometimes a little bit more. People are scared to ask questions. Yes, but but don't be scared to ask questions. Just ask the question. You will learn much more by just asking it. Yes, and this is how you go about it. Don't be scared. Ask the question to the business. They love to talk business people, so they will explain it to you.
That's a lot. So just a question like there's some kind of I have some side projects like the my full-time job. So time I have to ask myself like, so what kind of the domain that I have to focus on to bring new capacity for myself in future. So as you know, everything you follow for your
If it's a side project, just have fun. Just have fun. I cannot imagine doing something serious on the side. So just have fun while doing it. You will get better. You will get better at it. But like for me, my side project is even more boring. I wrote now just a machine learning algorithm to detect debt defaulting in a bank, which nobody thinks about because it's totally not sexy. Credit scoring is where everybody says, oh, this is the perfect use case, which is actually not true. The bank has a lot of issues when people default on debt. So when you miss payments, to have an indicator, because most people are late paying, they want to have this indicator, which is very boring stuff to do. So to work on. But before, when I was younger, I just worked on things that I wanted to work on my side projects. Yes. So
that is a lot.
yes. Anybody?
Time for questions. So if you have questions, yes.
Nobody? Yes.
Okay, so based on all for 7 year experience, you are talking about how to use a tool to that to code it. However, if I want to build AI tool, so might know how I can hire developers who one or two to be my team and have more experience like around 2 years and what else this problem?
Oh, okay. First, AI is a very big name for a lot of things. Yes. So the name got popular with Gen AI, generative AI. That's what AI. I've been doing AI. If we talk like this, like the machine learning I'm talking about, we were doing this already 5 to 10 years ago. Making neural networks and do prediction models. Yes. You already have the prediction models in e-commerce websites that recommend your products. Technically seen, that's a machine learning behind the scenes, a predictive model that gives it to you, and now it's called AI. Yes. If it's that, you need a good mathematician helping you, or a good understanding of algorithms and in which use cases which algorithm is used. Yes. So that's what you need if you do that. If you work in Gen AI, it's a bit different. But we have an engineer here. He said to me, with Gen AI, it's a bit different because you've got a lot of. One is you need to build your own model. That's one point which most people don't do because it's super expensive. Or you fine-tune a model. Or you use RAG, what I was just explaining, prompt engineering. You give it context, you give it a prompt, and it gives you a specific output. And you can tweak the numbers. So you need somebody that knows a little bit of this kind of things. And then mostly you need a developer that can feed these prompts to it and does certain actions on it. So it's not a simple answer to give. It depends on your use case. But now, what is biggest issue that everywhere and that everybody is trying to solve, at least in the insurance and in the fintech space, is the term what is it, AI agents that will automate our work. Well, it does it because I've been in automation already many years. The problem with automation is bad data, crappy data that has wrong stuff, APIs that are super stupid. I worked in an insurance company. Every time you needed data, you got a new API. Even if it was almost the same API as the other API, it was just a new API. And they had thousands of APIs because they will never reuse the API, but just an interface with the data. Another thing, I just said documentation. Are the processes documented? An AI agent can also only work in a clean environment. So this is something we humans still can do. If the process is not 100% clear, the data is not 100% there, we can figure it out, which AI will not be able to do it. So that's my thoughts.
Good answer. And you say this is very expensive. So how expensive?
They're spending, I think, they're spending billions on data centers full with GPUs just to train the models, and it will take a year, 2 years of crunching before the model is there on all those GPUs. This is why I hate it, because my gaming GPU is super expensive now to do it, but building the model is not for normal investments. That's why the OpenAI does it. That's why Microsoft puts so much behind it. That's why they build the data centers for it. And the same will go for the inference parts. So once you have the model, you have to inference to get a result out of it. So you have to run that one too. That's also can be very big if you want to do it commercially. If you do it like me on the laptop, it's not so expensive. Yes.
Yes, so thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. I think we are done with the time. So yes, thank you very much.